is a poem from the same author, Wallace. First collection of poetry, Harmonium. So, Harmonium was first published in 1922 in the public domain. So, uh, generally, this poem begins with the speaker asks that the listener to fetch a strong man to roll cigarettes. There is some kind of celebration happening. The celebratory atmosphere is lessened by the speaker who asks everyone to go on acting as they always have. There is no reason to stand on set. By the time a reader gets to the second stanza, it's clear that the event in question is a woman's death. She will be put to rest just like everyone else who has ever lived. There is no way to escape death. So, when we move to the analysis of this lesson, yeah, call the roller of big cigars, the muscular one, the bid him whip. In kitchen cups, consequent occurs. The first lines of the speech, the speaker so asserts this dominance by giving a command, right? He tells someone, the reader doesn't know who, to call in the roller of big cigars. It is, when we look at it, is that there is something important happening or an occasion to be marked. The cigar is going to be a big one, rolled by the most muzzler of the rollers. This will guarantee its quality. So here the speaker provides a second command to the listener. They have to go to the roller and tell him or bid him to whip and kitchen cups consequent or lust filled curds. This strange line this strange line becomes clearer when one reconsiders the title. Right, this one it talks about. And when we move to the fourth and to sixth, let the wenches dwaddle in such dress as they are used to wear, and let the boys bring flowers in last month's newspapers. The next line here includes the word wench. It has traditionally been used to refer to a female prostitute or woman whose life was in some way not her own, because the speaker is offhandedly referring to these types of women and at once telling them to wear such dress as they were used to wear. Whatever the occasion is, there is no reason for women to wear anything other than what they are used to. The speaker moves on to refer to the boys. This is a similar statement in that it calls for no grand preparations. The flowers can come in any wrapping, even a newspaper from the previous month. So he suggests that in another more formal setting, only this month's newspaper would do. So the last seventh and eighth lines, let be finale of seam. The only emperor is the emperor of ice cream. The seventh and eighth, these lines, so confusing repetition of B. There is let be, right? Repeated twice. In a clearer rephrasing of the line, the speaker is asking that life's being be left alone. It doesn't want anyone to do anything that would obscure reality. So everyone should live as they always have, regardless of the still as you at unknown event. Finally, the speaker introduces the Emperor of Ice Cream in the eighth line. The title is meant to sound light-hearted and cast the concept of emperor in a different light rather than the person bearing this title being regarded as someone to fear. They are instead simply in charge of the ice cream. There is an interesting comparison between the role of an emperor or any ruler and whether or not their job is important. At the same time, he is setting ice cream up as something that needs a ruler or overseer. It is important enough too that someone should be in charge of every bit of it so that it exists in the world. So in the stanza 2, when we look at 1 to 4 lines, it becomes clearer that, right, 1 to 4 lines, it becomes clearer that the event the speaker is preparing for is a funeral rather than any kind of traditional celebration. This stanza also begins with a command. This time the speaker asks the this time the speaker asks the listener to go into the bedroom of the house and look at the presence of deal. Dresser of deal. Deal is the name of low quality wood that is readily available. The cheap material the dresser is made of or adds to the informal setting and mood of the text. It is further emphasized by the fact that the dresser is missing three glass knobs. Right, he asks that a certain piece of embroidery is bought from the dresser and used to cover her face. The woman who has denied one's work on a piece of swing featuring fantails. The word fantail is ambiguous but likely to refer to a kind of bird with widely spread fantail. He wants to cover her face in death. It is clear the speaker believes this piece of work represents her somehow. So the fifth and sixth, when we look at the fifth and sixth in her horny feet protrude, they come to show how cold she is and dumb. There's one strong statement about death. The woman is dead nearby, and the speaker knows that well. He is directing his listener emotionally. He tells them that if they see her horny feet and becomes disturbed, all they have to do is to remember that they are only there as a symbol of death. It is universal, inescapable. Death is universal and inescapable. So one should welcome the chance to comfort it. Let the lamp affects its beam. The only emperor is the emperor of ice cream. The last two lines, right, are also a couplet. Uh, the speaker is asking that someone light a lamp. Its beam needs to be affixed or struck. He asks that something, likely his opinions about death, is made clearer to a larger group. So speaker returns again to the concept of the emperor. Now, after revealing his opinion regarding death, the illusion makes more sense. The only person who really has any power is the one who watches over joy and a life well lived. All others who seek out loftier goals are wasting their time. There is no way to control that much of the world, just as one cannot control death. This is about the summary of the emperor of the ice cream. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Communication skills for everyone.